Have you ever yelled at your smart speaker when it gets your request wrong? Or maybe you felt a little flicker of something when a robot in a movie gets kicked. We project emotions onto machines all the time, but have you ever wondered, can a robot actually get angry? It sounds like science fiction, right? A scene straight out of Terminator. But the answer is a lot more complex and fascinating than a simple yes or no. Today, we're diving deep into the world of artificial intelligence and robotics to explore this very question. Can robots feel anger? And if they can't, why do they sometimes seem like they do? Stick around, because what we uncover might just change the way you look at every gadget in your home. First, let's get the big question out of the way. Human anger is a complex biological and psychological experience. When you get angry, a whole cascade of things happens in your body. Your brain's amygdala, the threat detection center, goes on high alert. Hormones like adrenaline and cortisol flood your system. Current AI and robots simply don't have this biological hardware. They don't have brains, hormones, or bodies that evolved for survival. They have processors, algorithms, and sensors. So, a robot can't feel the hot flush of rage or the simmering resentment that we do. It's a fundamentally different operating system. But if that's the case, why do we sometimes see robots that look angry? This is where things get really interesting. It's all about simulation. Programmers and engineers are getting incredibly good at making robots simulate emotions. The goal isn't to make the robot feel anger, but to make it recognize and display the signs of anger. Why would they do this? Well, it's all about making our interactions with machines more natural and intuitive. Think about it. We humans rely heavily on emotional cues in our communication. If a customer is getting frustrated, the bot could adopt a more calming tone and display a more patient expression. Let's look at a concrete example. The robot Pepper, designed to be a social companion, can analyze your tone of voice and facial expressions to guess your emotional state. Based on that data, it can then change its own behavior. If it detects you're sad, it might try to play a happy song. If it detects you're angry, it might try to de-escalate the situation. It's not feeling empathy or concern, it's running a program. A very sophisticated program, but a program nonetheless. This simulation is achieved through machine learning. Researchers feed an AI thousands of examples of angry faces, angry voices, and angry text. The AI learns to identify the patterns associated with anger. What does a furrowed brow look like in terms of pixels? What are the acoustic frequencies of an angry voice? Once it learns these patterns, it can then be programmed to replicate them. A robotic face can be made to move its mechanical parts to mimic a frown. A text-to-speech engine can adjust its pitch, volume, and speed to sound irritated. So, when you see an angry robot, you're not seeing a machine on the verge of an emotional breakdown. You're seeing a very clever imitation, a reflection of the data it was trained on. It's like an actor playing a role. The actor doesn't have to actually be furious to convincingly portray an angry character on screen. Similarly, the robot doesn't feel anger. It just executes the anger script. But this raises a deeper philosophical question. If a robot can perfectly simulate anger and we react to it as if it's real anger, does the difference even matter? This is a concept known as the ELIZA Effect, named after an early chatbot from the 1960s. ELIZA simply rearranged the user's sentences to sound like a therapist, but people started confiding in it, treating it as if it genuinely understood them. Today's AI is light years beyond ELIZA. If a robot companion expresses frustration when it can't solve a puzzle, or a virtual assistant's voice gets sharp when you ignore its warnings, we instinctively react on an emotional level. Our brains are wired to respond to social cues, whether they come from a human or a machine. So in a practical sense, a robot's simulated anger can have very real effects on our behavior and our feelings. This is why the ethics of emotion AI are so important. Imagine an ad bot that shows disappointment when you don't buy a product, or a political bot that uses outrage to spread misinformation more effectively. The potential for misuse is significant, and it's something developers and society as a whole need to think about very carefully. Furthermore, there's the question of what happens in the distant future. Right now, robots don't have consciousness or genuine feelings. But as AI becomes more and more complex, could that change? This is where we venture into the territory of artificial general intelligence, or AGI and AI with human-like cognitive abilities. If an AGI were to emerge, would it be capable of feeling something like anger? Some experts believe that for an AI to be truly intelligent, it would need something akin to emotions to help it make decisions, prioritize tasks, and navigate a complex world. For humans, emotions are not just random feelings. They are data points. Fear tells us to avoid danger. Joy tells us to seek out more of what makes us happy. Anger can motivate us to overcome obstacles or fight injustice. It might not be anger in the human biological sense, but it could be a state triggered by frustration, by its goals being blocked, or by perceived injustice. If an AGI has a core objective, say, to solve climate change, and its efforts are constantly thwarted by human inaction, it might enter a state that we could only describe as anger or frustration. This state would then drive it to find new, more aggressive strategies to achieve its goal. This is the scenario that sci-fi loves to explore. The robot rebellion, where machines get angry at their creators. We are nowhere near creating this kind of conscious, emotional AI. So to wrap it all up, no, your Roomba is not secretly mad at you for leaving clothes on the floor. The anger we see in robots today is a simulation designed to make human-robot interaction smoother and more effective. It's a frontier of science and philosophy that we are just beginning to explore. The answers will shape not just the future of technology, but our understanding of what it means to feel, to think, and to be intelligent. What do you think? Could a machine ever truly be angry? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more content exploring the future of technology and AI. See you next time.